So please help me welcome to the stage, Mr. Taika Waititi. Well, I know the feeling of the folks sitting here in that seat. They're like wiping away tears and they're also like giggling. And so while they're doing that, why don't you tell them how you brought...
I give them some tissues.
Yeah.
I'll hand out tissues individually.
But tell them how you brought this bold, hilarious, heartfelt, anti-hate satire to the screen.
Well, fascinating story. My mum introduced me to this book called Caging Skies, and the book is, I guess the similarity with the book is I took the main storyline about this boy finding this girl living in his attic, and the book isn't very funny. It's quite dark, but it's a great story, and I'm not really capable of making a drama because it seems boring, and so I took that storyline and added imaginary Hitler and jokes.
Lots of jokes. Yeah, I think this is just such a brilliant example of how an adaptation, how a person like yourself with so much talent can infuse himself in it and create something completely amazing and new. And I think one of the best things about it is this lead character that you cast in Roman, because he's just like the best face. I mean, let's be honest. I love it.
Yeah, I mean, he's not sure if he's got the best face in the movie.
Fair.
So it's a taste thing.
But Kat, tell me about casting him, because it's difficult casting children.
Yeah, well, that's right. Because there's only so many of them on Craigslist. So then you got to start auditioning them properly. So we auditioned for about dark. Oh no, sorry. We auditioned a lot of kids for about 4 months, and we got down to a point where we had to start really making decisions. And he just sort of came in at the last minute and sort of waltzed in and did his audition. And he's a very sensitive little guy, and he's very emotionally mature and emotionally connected, and he cares deeply about people. And so that essentially is what I wanted JoJo's state to be by the end of the film. So if you can start with that and then work backwards to the start of the film, where you can you just have to sort of like put this sort of the indoctrinated ideologue. It's a real word.
Promise.
You'll find that I don't know big words. You put that on him at the beginning, and then and then you work your way towards the end of the film, where essentially that is Roman, just being himself. And then I often work with kids, and you'd think I'd like working with children. I don't. It's hard, but the good thing you get out of them is these really pure performances, and I often use kids who've never acted before, because they seem more authentic, and they haven't learned all those bad tricks that actors have. That kind of acting. And so the itchy act out. I'm an actor, so I'm going to itch through your sea. So they haven't learned all that BS that grown-ups seem to ruin roles with. And so I use them and I get these amazing performances. And then I take all the credit and then
get all the awards.
Discard them, and they, for the most part, never work again.
No, you have a great history of launching careers.
I have a great history of launching one career, one thing, setting up all these dreams, and then shattering them after that.
No, you can tell when you see Roman on screen that this kid is definitely going to have a future in this industry. It's absolutely true. And that's to be saying the said for his co-star, Tomlinson, who it was an established actress, and you still cast her in this, so good for her for making it, because she's brilliant, as we all saw. I mean,
Yeah, she's good.
so how did you come to her?
She's from my hometown in Wellington, New Zealand. And I've known her parents for quite a long time through the theatre scene. And yeah, so I've seen her like kind of, running around the streets of Wellington as a kid, and then suddenly she was in Leave No Trace, and then Edgar Wright's film and a bunch of other things, and I realised, oh, she's an actor, she's pretty good. And so yeah, cast her. I've got so many really great stories like this. You wouldn't believe it, but she auditioned and then she got the part. But that character, it was important to me that character didn't come across as, I guess, a typical victim character that you'd expect in a film that deals with this subject matter. I wanted her to be strong and to be the one that's really in control for most of the film. And I like to think that she, so basically she did her own research, the kind of research that I guess everyone would do and should do. But I also wanted her to do other, to twist that research and that preparation. So I made her watch Heathers and Mean Girls. And, because I like to think that kid, because she's 17 in the film, I like to think that she had a life before this situation, and she was, at school I like to think she was in the popular group, and, she's a good-looking girl, and she was in this gaggle of, popular girls, and she wasn't necessarily nice to other kids. And I think because teenagers, that's what you want when you're a teenager. You want to be popular, you want to be cool, and you do not want to be stuck in an attic somewhere. So when that happens, I like that she uses that anger and that bitterness against this kid and manipulates him and bullies him. For me it was important that she was the strong one in that situation. And that, girls don't need boys as much as boys really want girls. And it's, again, it was important that they weren't the same age, that it was really like a crush on your babysitter.
Yeah, it's a little pervy, Kidding.
That's a good log line for the poster. It's a little pervy.
But no, I mean, look from the poster. The poster is just this bright, with the peace sign, and I think that permeates through all of the frames of the film. It's so bright with like Scarlett's wardrobe and her look, and so much of it is colorful. And I know that's from the production design, and I know that's the story you wanted to tell. So why did you want to infuse all this color into the story?
Well, most of these films, they always look so dull, and it's all browns and greys. The palette is always like dreary and desaturated, and I know that for a reason. It's just to depress people, and I mean I get it. It's to show the kind of how intense that period of time was, but it's still manipulation of an audience, and in reality those cities were very, very bright and colourful, and the Germans loved design and the latest fashions and trends, and so people did dress like Scarlett a lot of the time, but it's like a lot of crazy patterns and clashing colours and all sorts of all this stuff that you never really see, and part of that was because at the end of the war they thought that today could be my last day, because they knew that they would lose the war, and the attitude really was put on all of our best gears and put on all our makeup, and if we're going to go out, let's go out looking spectacular. And so it was a really crazy time, a chaotic time of where the whole country was disintegrating, and at the same time they were still like partying as if that wasn't happening.
I think nothing more exemplifies the idea of like, if I'm going to go out, I'm going to go out looking literally as fierce as possible as Sam at the end with his boa and his fringe and just living his life. And I think that I know that references his personality that maybe we don't see all the way on screen, but let's be honest, him and Alfie, they're
gay.
I'm glad you said it, but it was beautifully alluded to. But I know that they have like a
It's not very
backstory.
subtle.
But tell me about their backstory, because I know you have an idea of where they
Yeah,
were
I like to
before.
think that they're not, and it's very easy just to kind of, or maybe also lazy, just to have a character in a film like this where it's like, who they are is who you see at that particular moment in time. But all of these people had lines before Hitler got into power. And I like to think that Sam and Alfie may have, like in Cabaret, maybe they hung out at the Kit Kat Club all the time, and and they had this sort of nightlife, and that was all taken away, and they were forced to sort of hide those parts of themselves. And again, when they know that the dream is over, and Sam's like, I'm just going to be who I am and go out in this looking spectacular.
Fabulous. I'm going to throw it out to you guys. If you have a question, just raise your hand. I will repeat it, but okay, I'm going to go right up front.
Hi, thank you for the movie. I'm wondering, what's the earliest thing that you learned unexpectedly while making this movie? And were you worried that people would misunderstand or don't like it?
He basically said, what did you learn while filming it? And then, are you scared that people are stupid and don't realize how great it is?
That's a great way of saying what it really
Sorry, no
really
shade
is.
to you.
What was the first part?
Did you learn anything while making it?
Yeah, I learned that it's no fun to play Hitler. It's embarrassing. And I mean, when I first put that costume on and that moustache, I was like, oh my god, what am I doing? This is not a good idea. This is disastrous. And then, because and throughout the day, sometimes you forget what you look like and stuff, and so I'd like be giving people directions. Let's do that again. I think we should maybe this time do that door there, and then turn around here, and then I could see them sort of just like staring up and down like that, and then I catch a glimpse of myself in the reflections, like, oh Jesus. Yep. Well, you don't have to do that if you don't want to. It wasn't an order. I was just suggesting. And then what was the second part?
I mean, the second was like basically the tone.
Oh, was I scared of the tone and stuff?
Yeah.
No, because no, just no. It really irks me when people think that comedy is an effective tool in spreading positive messages or any kind of anything that has a deeper resonance. And this idea that World War II films can't have humour in them is preposterous. And it's actually works against the art form, and I think comedy is a very valid part of this art form. And so Stephen Merchant, he told this great story, I'm sure a lot of you know this story, about Groucho Marx's, I think it was his daughter. In the 30s, her and her friends, to celebrate someone's birthday, went to a country club in Beverly Hills. And she wasn't allowed in the pool because she was Jewish. They had no Jews in the pool policy in Beverly Hills. And instead of retaliating with vitriol and anger, which doesn't really help, it just doesn't help. So Groucho wrote a letter to the owner of the club, or the manager, and said, to be fair, my daughter's only half Jewish, so would you consider letting her in the pool up to her waist? And I think when you use comedy to poke holes in the fabric of these worldviews and these ridiculous attitudes, if you poke enough holes in it, you can start seeing through it for what it is. It's just and it starts to disintegrate. And so, yeah, I think I'll always use comedy, and I'm not scared of using it in that way, because laughter opens up audiences, and it's just, damn, when you're watching a movie, you start wanting more, and you become more receptive to ideas, and actually it's easier to deliver a payload of something meaningful through laughter.
Great, that's a great one. I have time for one quick question because we do have to run to an intro, so I'm going to go right here.
Oh, what?
I know. Yes, ma'am.
Hi, so I'm always interested in how long it takes to get everything put together. Wasn't it a challenge with
She just wanted to know about how long it took and if you hit any walls.
It took, from when we decided to do the film, it took about, how long did it take? Is anyone here involved in the film that knows how long it took? I've blocked it all out. It's like when you have a baby.
Where's your producer?
6 months. Felt like 10 years. But okay, I guess so. A year? 6 months to a year? I don't know. I blocked it out.
He's lost the memory. Anyway, I'm so sorry, guys. I wish we could spend more time, but we do have to run to an intro. But I want to thank you guys for listening. Thanks, Fox Searchlight, and thank Business Cycle.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you all. Thank you all.
Thank you for coming. Bye.